You know, if anybody from President Obama's team or any of the media that to some seem like they weren't an attacker of the president would have been slaughtered. They would have been slaughtered if they had attempted what Tucker Carlson as well as Fox News and others have done. Check this out, and then we'll get it on the other side.
The brazen indefensibility of Vladimir Putin's war of aggression in Ukraine mean that Russia's propaganda machine has its work cut out for it. First, Putin tried to justify his war by claiming he was liberating Ukraine from Nazi rule. That fell flat. So now Russia's trying a new strategy, new false claims that U.S.-funded laboratories in Ukraine are building biological weapons to use against Russia, a kind of retread of the WMD argument from 20 years ago. Now, to be absolutely clear, it's a lie. There's zero actual evidence those labs are building weapons. It doesn't matter, the conspiracy nevertheless gaining steam on fringe far-right websites here in the U.S. In fact, as NBC reports, one cybersecurity expert has found, quote, the rhetoric on pro-Trump sites, which had largely been anti-Putin in the first days of the war, has shifted because of the biolab conspiracy theory, a theory that has been actively entertained on Fox News by Tucker Carlson.
What exactly are they doing in these secret Ukrainian biolabs? Ukraine is the poorest country in Europe. It's hardly a hotbed of biomedical research. We're assuming these weren't pharmaceutical labs, probably not developing new leukemia drugs. From your answer, Tori Newland, we would assume, because you all but said it, that there's a military application to this research, that they were working on bioweapons.
Again, it's not a particularly clever method, like constant rhetorical questions, so you're never actually making a claim. It's very obvious, but that's the whole point, right? Tucker Carlson and Fox News CEO Suzanne Scott both know that Ukrainian labs are not making biological weapons. But it must be working for whatever agenda they have. As media critic Aaron Rupar notes, Tucker's rarely come out as nakedly pro-Putin. Instead, he's sort of anti-Putin, all framed as opposition to the forces in the U.S., mainly Democratic Party, which oppose Putin's war. And by extension, Tucker works to legitimize a lot of the Kremlin's favored talking points. And that's not really an exaggeration, just to be clear. I mean, people can say whatever they want, free country, but this is what's happening. It's what he's doing. The Kremlin itself sees Tucker as a useful asset. According to a leaked document translated by Mother Jones, a memo for Russian intelligence services to Russian media, explaining why they need to play more of Carlson's show. Quote, it is essentially use as much as possible fragments of broadcasts of the popular Fox News host Tucker Carlson, who sharply criticizes the action of the United States and NATO, their negative role in unleashing the conflict in Ukraine, and the defiantly provocative behavior from the leadership of the Western countries in NATO towards the Russian Federation and towards President Putin personally. Now, again, maybe you don't know the provenance of that memo, and you're skeptical of that, but let me tell you, it's on Russian state-owned television all the time, as people who watch it have been noting. But even as those state-owned news outlets in Russia are being told exactly what pro-war propaganda to use on air, there are incredibly brave protesters trying to get the truth out, even on state TV.
Amazing. Just think about it. Suppose anybody's related or supported by President Obama had ever done that, become the sycophant of Putin, become the resident, what would they like to call the resident of Putin, that's promoting the lies that Putin is putting out there. Suppose that were the case, we would have a riot in this country. I don't understand how Trump gets away with it, and I don't understand how Trump has people that stick with him as he generates this type of stuff. I don't understand how Tucker becomes the highest rated cable opinion news personality. I don't get it, but remember, these guys should be considered by you traitors. We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead. Number one, subscribe to our channel. And number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.